Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com, and in this video, I want to help you answer the question, how do I know what to create my product on, right? Like we've talked about frameworks for you to actually kind of construct the product content. We've talked about doing minimum viable products and minimum viable funnels for you to test the ideas with very minimal kind of effort and money involved. But how do you know what to actually put in the product? How do you know what your audience desires? Such a big question. And when you get this right, and it's really simple, but when you get this right, it's definitely the shortcut to creating not only the product itself, but it'll even help you create the sales copy, the email copy. Everything seems to fall in line when you get this dialed in correctly. So what is the answer? It's really simple, and we'll go deeper on this, but it's to ask them. It's literally to ask them what it is, what their biggest challenge is regarding the topic that you seek to help them with, and then let their answers flow in and use and learn and study. When I say use, I mean use even the words that they're using in their responses. Now, I first heard about this idea from Russell Brunson. It's how he built his first potato gun business back in the day, and he calls it a flycatcher page. And essentially, if you Google the flycatcher page, I bet you can find his old flycatcher pages or something around, like I would Google Russell Brunson, flycatcher page, and I know you'll find content that shows exactly what it was. And his take, my version of it, right, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, was a one-page, super simple page, all white with black text, that says, hey, I'm putting the finishing touches on my new book or my new course that's going to teach you everything you need to know about blank. For him, in this example, it was everything you need to know about building your own potato gun. And then he says, but before I complete it, I wanted to ask you what your biggest challenge is in building a spud gun, or what your number one most important question is, so I can be sure to answer that in my course. And then it's just got a big text space below, and then it's got a submit button below that. It is so simple, but what your goal is here is to get this messaging in front of people who are literally interested in this topic. So where did he go? How did he get traffic to this? Because he didn't have a list at this time. He went to online forums, and he went to the bulletin boards, because this was kind of a bulletin board day before the days of Facebook groups, which we'll talk about in a second. And he literally went to the forums where people were talking about building spud guns, and he said, hey, I'm building a DVD course on this. What is your biggest question? Please click here and answer it so I can make sure and answer your questions inside of my course. Then he literally looked at all of the responses that he got, and every question someone had, he pulled out and he made an kind of a corresponding bullet point and made sure that that question was clearly answered inside of the product itself. And actually, he used all those questions as the foundation and the structure from which to build his first product. And that sent, if you don't know about Russell Brunson, man, that sent him on a trajectory, and he still uses this kind of the ask method, if you will, today. So then I said ask method, right? And that's definitely Ryan Levesque's idea. Ryan Levesque put out a book, and he has a high ticket info product. I do not recommend his high ticket info product. It was a little bit too kind of out there. I tried it. I ended up getting a refund because it was a little bit too spread thin, I would have to say, for kind of filled with a bunch of filler content. And the ultimate goal he's talking about again is you do a survey of your audience and you ask them, what is the number one most important, or what is the number one biggest challenge that you're seeing within your niche? And then you simply look at the different responses. His take is to go another step deeper, which is to look at the main categories of responses. And those can be kind of your main modules. They can be the main ideas. And then you know to speak to each of those individual components. Both methodologies work really well, because what you're getting is you're getting user-generated content. You're getting actual words from your actual target market that say, my big problem is this because I've got blank, 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 and you can take their exact words and you can use it in your sales copy. You can use it as your bullet points. You can use the answers to their questions in the bullet points. And again, you can build your product based on the questions that your target market has. It's absolutely a fantastic strategy to literally get inside the minds of your target market. So I've got one that I would love to share with you. I am literally asking you at this moment in time for your help in helping me come up with new topic ideas for these videos here on YouTube, right? I've covered a lot of ground at this point and I want to do more. So if you'd be interested in not only helping me come up with new topic ideas moving forward, but also seeing a real world example of how I set this up, just go to milesbeckler.com/survey and you'll go through the process. I have a 5-question kind of series set up. You'll notice the first question is kind of an easy question. It's a simple tick a box question and then you're on to the next one. I believe it's question number 3 where I ask what the biggest roadblock you're seeing in your business is. And I'm not trying to hide any of this from you, right? I'm happy to share what's in it with you here in the video if you don't want to go actually through the questions. But if you'd like to actually reverse engineer what I'm doing and use a version of that for you and your business, by all means, milesbeckler.com/survey. But that's where I've got kind of just an empty text box and an open-ended question. And it's so important to use an open-ended question because my goal is to get you and to get other respondents to really pour their hearts and souls into that comment. I'm looking for the longest responses because those long responses means they're filled with passion. And those people who kind of take the time to respond with deep answers and that kind of passion that goes into these things, that's really key for me. So if it's a one-word answer, I still appreciate the answer, but I'm maybe weighing that a little less than the people who will write 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. And I really study into that. Then what I'm going to do is once I get 100 to 500 responses from this, I go in and I kind of sort all the data, right? I'm looking for patterns. Pattern recognition is so important in this day and age. We live in the day and age of big data. So what I'm going to do is myself and my virtual assistant, we're going to go through and we're going to sort out, okay, which ones are about Facebook? Which ones are about funnels? What kind of questions do people have about this, that, the other? What have I answered? What haven't I answered? And I'm going to use this to really simmer down all the ideas. So I'm kind of crowdsourcing the information for where am I taking this channel next, right? What kind of next level content am I going to bring to the marketplace? What are the biggest problems? And then I know as I answer these questions in the videos and as I share the solutions that people are looking for, those are going to be the videos that get traction, right? Those are going to be the content that actually get out there because I'm not just making it up or using my intuition to guide me, which can be great in one sense, but it can lead me astray as well. This is me getting my finger on the pulse of the marketplace of the individuals like you who are actually watching my videos to say, hey, how can I help you? Now, if I was interested in building an actual information product or a membership or a course, literally the keywords I would use, the phrases I would use for the bullet points, the actual modules and the bits and pieces that I would build a course out of will literally come directly from this kind of a survey. So it's really important for you when you're kind of building this out to be gauging the response of your audience. And one way to gauge the response is to put up a minimum viable funnel, as we said, and see if anybody takes you up on your free offer, right? To put up a minimum viable product and to see if anyone actually purchases your product. Those are great ways, but the even faster way to get it is to go, I'm using SurveyMonkey I'm using their free level of SurveyMonkey. I actually just upgraded so I can get over 100 responses, but you can get up to 100 responses for free on SurveyMonkey. It's a really simple interface. It gives you a separate link that you can send people out to, and you can run a pay-per-click advertisement. You can go into the forums that are relevant to the topics and you can say, hey, I'm writing an ebook on this. I'd really like your help making sure I answer all your questions. Facebook groups can be an absolute gold mine of information. And if you're already active in the Facebook groups that are relevant to the topic that you're creating content on for the audience that you want to solve, which you obviously should be at this point in time, that's where you can go say, hey, I'm finishing up an ebook. I want to make sure I'm answering every question in there. Could you take 1 minute? Can you take 60 seconds and go answer this question? You can do a 1-question version that simply states, hey, I'm really interested in learning what your biggest, most important problem or challenge is regarding blank. For me, it's helping you make money online, right? What is your number one most challenging roadblock you're facing making money online right now or internet marketing right now? But if you're in a specific niche, obviously go with that niche. Get niche specific content. I highly recommend Googling Russell Brunson, flycatcher, potato gun. And what you'll find is you'll probably be able to find his actual flycatcher page where you'll be able to kind of get the exact copy that he has. You can also, obviously there's the book, the Ask Method book, but you could probably do some Googling around the Ask Method to find the exact wording he used. But it's what's the number one single most important challenge that you're facing with blank. Then you leave it open and you want people to pour their hearts out. Then you go through the data and you look for patterns. You look for kind of the main groups or the main kind of buckets of content and responses that people are leaving you with. And then you take those questions and you make sure and answer them. You can answer them in blog posts. You can answer them in videos. This can fuel a content marketing program, right? You could answer them in chapters of an ebook. You could answer them in modules of a modulated membership program or an information product course. What you do with this content is very diverse. You have a lot of opportunity in how to move forward, just as I'm trying to get answers so I can create kind of organic content for YouTube and for my blog. I could just as easily package this up in a course format, but that's not my goal with the channel, so that's not how I'm going to leverage these kinds of answers. But for you, if you're creating a product, if you're looking to build a membership program, and you really want to make sure you're hitting all of those main problem points, and you're really trying to figure out what are those main problem points for your target market and for your customer avatar, just got to ask them. Another way of getting traffic to it is literally you can actually run paid traffic to a landing page, and you could drive people from Facebook to a page that's going to help them solve their problem, and you can let them know exactly what Russell Brunson did and say, hey, I'm putting the finishing touches on this course. It's going to be available soon, but before, I wanted to make sure and answer every question you have. So what is your biggest, most important question regarding blank? And I'll be happy to include that in the course. By the way, if you would like to leave your email address below and get a 50% discount when this course is released, just enter your email and I'll be sure to give you a special discount for helping me out in this process. And that's how you can take them, turn your audience into a focus group. If you have an email list, obviously mail your list. That's the first thing I did when I created this for myself. The second thing is I'm putting out organic content here to make sure and get that out as best I can. I may go post this on social media, but honestly, you YouTube viewer, I'm most interested in helping you because I just don't like Facebook that much, to be honest. So I'm right here with you, and my goal is to help you accomplish your goals to create the cash flow you need to build a lifestyle business. I just need some help understanding where you're at and what your biggest challenges in that process and where you're at in the process. And that's why I've created these questions. That's why I've created the survey. So if you go to milesbeckler.com/survey, you will be able to do me a giant favor in helping me know where to take this channel in the future. You're going to be doing yourself a huge favor by giving me what you think is your biggest challenge so I know how to help you best, right? I can't make you a video to help you with your problem if I don't know what your problem is. And the third benefit that you get from that is you get to see this all in action. Again, you'll see my SurveyMonkey funnel. This was built on the free one. You can really replicate this as you choose. If you want to copy down the questions that I'm asking and put it in a notepad or a Word document, so when you create yours, you can definitely swipe off of this. This is kind of the base stuff that's I've seen from some of the best teachers I've used, right? You can leverage this content, but you got to make sure it's adapted and focused on your target market. If you're helping people build Instagram followings, great. What is their biggest challenge when it comes to building an Instagram following? If you're helping people eat more healthy from home faster, what is your biggest challenge in making 30-minute meals that are healthy and tasty, right? It doesn't matter what niche you're in. You got to ask the question. You want them to pour their hearts out. Then when you're going through the data, you're looking for the longest answers. Those are the ones to really focus in on because those are the people who brought passion. Don't ignore the other ones. It kind of, maintain and understand what even the shorter ones are saying. Try to find those patterns. What are the main 4 to 6 kind of groups of answers out of that? And that right there should allow you to have kind of the building blocks that you need to know what questions need to be answered, what modules need to be in your course, what chapters need to be in your book. And then the best part, you can take the actual questions and you can put those questions on the sales page. You can put the answers to those questions as bullet points on your sales copy. And when you use the actual words that your target audience and your customer avatar are using, the engagement and conversions of that messaging goes up absolutely massive, massive, massive amounts. And that's it. So that's kind of my down and dirty, quick and dirty take on the ask method or the flycatcher method. I originally heard this through Russell Brunson, even though Ryan Levesque is now kind of dominating the space. I have not read the book. I tried his course. I didn't really dig it. So I really think that the idea is out there, and I would just Google and look around for Russell Brunson's content on it, because he's got some of his old content on it from, I believe it was called, what was it? I don't remember his old course, but he really covers it in depth, and he even had a software called the Flycatcher Method. So do a little bit of Googling, maybe here on YouTube. I guarantee you'll find it. Guarantee you'll find other people talking about how to structure and word this, but I'm not necessarily trying to make it super about the words you use. Just an open-ended question is perfect. I'm more about encouraging you to take action and to put together a free survey and to get that survey out to people and get some answers rolling in, so you can start to kind of play with this methodology to see what kind of questions your audience actually has, so you can be sure as you're building your content, whether it's organic or paid content, that it's focused on the needs, the desires, the fears, and the challenges of your target market. Because when you focus on their needs, desires, challenges, wants, fears, etc., then your content has such a more kind of likelihood of success. It makes everything else work really easily from there. That's it for this one. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you going to milesbeckler.com/survey and filling out that survey for me. I look forward to making more videos for you. And again, thank you for your time. I look forward to connecting with you on the next video.